guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria. If you watch this video and you enjoy it, don't be shy, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So today we are going to touch upon triangulation between siblings of narcissistic parents and how there are 10 benefits to being the scapegoat. All right, so I have another video on triangulation that you can check out right here above. But I'm just going to briefly explain triangulation to you. So basically we're going to look at it like this. We have the narcissistic parent on the top. On one side of the triangle we have the scapegoat, which we will go ahead and talk about more today. So the scapegoat is the person that gets the brunt end of the deal. They get the tough end of the emotional abuse, okay? And then we have on the complete opposite end of the triangle, we have the golden child. The golden child is somebody, maybe they've won a lot of awards. They are really lifted up by the narcissistic parent as if they are better than. Then maybe somewhere floating around in the abyss is the invisible child that's not getting as bad of a deal as the scapegoat. However, there's still so much psychological damage and they are not receiving the attention that they deserve and the validation that children need. All right, so in triangulation then, to conclude, the narcissistic parent will manipulate the golden child, tell the golden child things about the scapegoat that probably are not true. The golden child then could turn against the scapegoat and side with the narcissistic parent that they cannot imagine would be doing anything wrong because of the way that they treat the golden child. All right, that's a very brief description. So we're going to go right into 10 benefits of being the scapegoat, because why not turn some of this awful narcissistic emotional abuse into something positive in our lives, all right? We want to heal and move forward. We don't want to get stuck in the cycle of abuse. So number one, as a scapegoat, you have intimidating qualities about you. There's something very special about you that narcissistic parent saw and they wish they had. Maybe you're a creative. Maybe you have an amazing imagination. Maybe you are extremely empathetic. Maybe you have a lot of friends. Maybe you have a strong self. Maybe you know who you are as a person. Maybe there are goals that the narcissistic parent wish they could have met in their life and you're meeting those goals. There's something about you that is extremely intimidating to those parents, okay? So good for you. You know, let's put a spin on this and just really celebrate the fact that you're an individual, you're someone different, and you're intimidating. So number two, you are not narcissistic. You know, with narcissistic abuse and C-PTSD, we deal with toxic shame and a lot of vicious inner thoughts. So with our inner thoughts, because they're so compulsive, we can constantly be thinking we're less than, we're not smart, we're not good enough, we're never going to succeed at this. We deal with social anxiety. People don't like us, right? So one of these things that we think a lot of times is, are we narcissistic? Are we a narcissist? Did what we just say, is it narcissistic? Are we putting ourselves in front of other people? If you are here thinking to yourself, am I narcissistic? The answer is no, you're not narcissistic, because a narcissist is not walking around questioning whether or not they are a narcissist. They are completely fine with being how they are. They're not interested in seeking help. So the great thing is that as a scapegoat, you are more than likely not narcissistic. Now the golden child, on the other hand, a lot of times because of the way that the narcissistic parent holds them up on a pedestal, it makes them feel as if they are greater than. A lot of times it's more than likely that the golden child would be the one that ends up being narcissistic and not the scapegoat, all right? Number three, you are a really strong person. For getting through what you've gotten through, no matter where you are on your healing journey, the fact that you're doing research here today on YouTube and watching this video means that you are taking one step closer to healing. the symptoms of C-PTSD, and you're bettering yourselves. You're strong. You're a strong person. So you're able to fight through situations that other people might quit because they're not used to getting pushed to their limits. Number 4, you are not easily manipulated. Being a scapegoat, the reason you are a scapegoat is because you're not being manipulated by the narcissistic parent. The person that's being manipulated is the golden child. They're being fooled. They're being manipulated. So you are not someone that's easily manipulated. So if you look at this in your everyday life, maybe you have a boss at work and he needs somebody to run all these errands for him or do all these things. You're probably not going to be that person, because if you have a narcissistic boss and they're looking to manipulate someone, you're probably not the person that's going to get manipulated. You see the signs at this point. Number 5. You care about other people's feelings because of what you've been through. You're probably very empathetic. If you're not an empath, you're a very empathetic person. When we go through emotional abuse, to explain it just very quickly, when we go through emotional abuse, our emotions tend to overrule our lives, right? So that's because the right brain, which is the emotional brain, is illuminated. And this is what happens with C-PTSD. So the right brain is illuminated. We're working off of emotions. And the left brain, which is our logical brain, is blacked out. It's completely shut down. So this is what happens when we have C-PTSD. And so because of this, we have very strong feelings and very strong emotions. So when we feel these strong emotions, we're in tune with what other people are feeling, especially if we're an empath. So we are very aware of other people's feelings and hurting other people's feelings. It's a kind quality to have. So number 6, you're smart. You figured all of this stuff out, or at least you're on your way to figuring it out. So somebody who is a scapegoat, who understands the process of triangulation and C-PTSD, is a highly intelligent person. You might not think so because you have that vicious inner critic that's telling you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. These are false thoughts that somebody told you at one point. You heard them, you internalized them, and you believed them as to be true statements, but they're not true. You're actually an extremely intelligent person. All right, number 7. You might not agree with this one, but I truly believe that as a scapegoat, it is easier for you to go no contact with your narcissistic parent or caretaker. And the reason I say this is because the golden child, who is so manipulated, they are caught in this web of manipulation with the narcissistic parent. So they're not necessarily going to go no contact. Why should they? The narcissistic parent is treating them like gold. But you are able to go no contact. Okay, so it would be easier for you to go no contact than it would for the golden child, who is in constant communication with the narcissistic parent, right? So you might not be at this point yet of where you can, or where it's even possible to go no contact. If you're still living with the narcissistic parent because of your age, then just know that eventually when you are able to go out, going no contact is a great, it's something to really think about, unfortunately, in your healing journey. So number 8, you are self-aware and you know your true self. And like I've been saying, you might not be to this point yet, but you'll get there. Because when you do all this self-work, you figure all this stuff out, you use your tools, you meditate, you journal, you take care of that vicious inner critic, you start naming your thoughts, and you start realizing that these thoughts that you're having over and over again, they're not true. You start naming your feelings. So something happens, you say, how am I feeling? I'm feeling anxious. Why am I feeling anxious? Because this happened. Why am I feeling anxious? Because this happened. Because I'm having an emotional flashback to something that happened when I was younger. See, there's all these tools you can use. These tools you keep with you in your back pocket for the rest of your life, but you watch. As you use these tools more and more, it starts to change your subconscious programming in your subconscious mind. And you become self-aware and you understand who you are in the end, who your true self is, which is an extremely lovable, empathetic, kind, smart individual. Number 9, you have control of going no contact. And I know that that is very hard to even think about, because maybe your parents are elderly. Maybe you feel like you need to stick around and take care of them. And I'm not here to tell you what to do or to tell you that that's not the right thing to do. Absolutely not. But you do have control as an adult whether or not you are going to go no contact. And if you are still in the psychological web of it and you haven't quite peeled back those onion layers yet, it's in the works. You will. But just remember, you have control over your own life, all right? No one has control over you. And the last one, and this is my motto, guys, we find our purpose in our pain. I truly believe that the reason that you have gone through what you have gone through as the scapegoat is because in your lifetime, there is someone who needs to hear that information from you. There is someone that needs to heal, and only you are going to be able to give them that information. So I believe that we find our purpose in life through our pain. And that's the point of making this video. Why should we always be stuck in this vicious mindset? Why don't we start changing our subconscious mind into thinking some positive things about ourselves? Because don't we deserve it? Haven't we been through enough? All right, guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. If you got something out of this video, like I said, don't be shy. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery and C-PTSD. As usual, guys, I wish you all the love in the world.